Have you ever walked through a big corporate campus, a museum, maybe a university, and just felt safe? Ever stop to wonder what it actually takes to create that feeling? Well, today, we are pulling back the curtain on the incredible complexity behind keeping our large spaces secure.
And this quote from a security manager, it just nails it. It's not just a job, it's this constant, high-stakes juggling act where even one tiny mistake can have some really serious consequences.
Okay, so let's get into it. Who are these jugglers? Well, they're the physical security managers. You can think of them as the unsung heroes working behind the scenes in all the places we visit, making sure everything runs smoothly and, most importantly, safely.
And the weight on their shoulders is just immense. I mean, we're talking about protecting every single person inside a building, all the company's valuable assets, and of course, incredibly sensitive information. That is a huge responsibility to carry day in and day out.
So what are these 10 balls they're trying to keep in the air all at once? Let's break down the critical tasks that make up this daily juggle. It's pretty fascinating.
All right, the first big category, the first set of balls, is all about managing the constant flow of people moving in and out of a building.
And that kicks off with the very first ball, access control. This is the absolute foundation, right? It's the challenge of making sure only the right people get in. We're talking everything from employee keycards to temporary passes for contractors.
Which, naturally, leads us to ball number 2, visitor management. Imagine a huge organization. Tracking thousands of visitors across multiple locations is a monumental task, but it's absolutely essential for knowing who is on site at any given time.
And on top of all that, they're juggling their own people. That's the third ball, orchestrating the entire security team. Aligning schedules, roles, on-the-ground duties, it's a massive coordination effort to make sure there are absolutely zero gaps in coverage.
Okay, so we've covered the people, now let's shift gears to the place itself. This next set of tasks is all about the physical building and the tech that protects it. Ball number 4 is surveillance. These are the eyes on the ground, so to speak. A security manager has to guarantee that every single camera is up and running smoothly and that the footage is always there when you need it. No excuses.
Then you've got the very first line of defense, perimeter security. Think about it. The gates, the fences, all the checkpoints. These need to be controlled with absolute precision to stop threats before they even get close to the building.
The next ball is a big one, systems maintenance. For critical gear like cameras, alarms, and access systems, downtime is just not an option. It can't happen. So managers are under constant pressure to ensure every piece of hardware is working perfectly, 24/7.
And the complexity just keeps piling on. See, security systems can't just operate in their own little bubble. For instance, a fire alarm has to automatically unlock doors so people can evacuate. This integration with other building operations, like HVAC and lighting, adds another incredibly critical layer to the juggle.
This brings us to our final and maybe the most critical group of tasks. This is all about how managers prepare for and respond when things go wrong.
So ball number 8 is incident response. When a security breach happens or a piece of equipment fails, the team has to act instantly. A clear, coordinated response plan is everything, making sure every single person knows exactly what to do. And this goes way beyond just small incidents. Ball number 9, emergency preparedness, is about having a rock-solid plan for major events. We're talking fires, building evacuations, or even an active shooter situation. Having automated, well-rehearsed plans for these scenarios is absolutely essential.
And finally, we get to the 10th ball, reporting. Every incident, every audit, every single day of operations generates a mountain of data, and all of it needs to be documented, analyzed, and reported up the chain to key stakeholders.
10 balls. It sounds pretty much impossible, doesn't it? But you know what? The number of tasks isn't even the hardest part. So what is the real underlying issue that makes this juggling act so incredibly difficult?
The real problem is integration, or more accurately, the lack of it. So often you've got all this legacy equipment from different vendors, and what happens is each of those 10 balls is managed by a completely separate system. The access control system doesn't talk to the cameras, which don't talk to the visitor log. They all operate in their own little silos, and that creates blind spots everywhere.
And this just lays out the consequences perfectly. When your systems are disconnected, what you get is chaos.
During an actual incident, managers are literally scrambling trying to pull information from 5 different screens at once. It leads to confusion, inefficiency, and worst of all, really dangerous gaps in your security coverage.
So if disconnection is the problem, then it stands to reason that connection has to be the solution, right? And this is where modern technology comes in with a game-winning assist, the rise of integrated platforms.
Now, this type of solution has a fancy industry name, Physical Identity and Access Management, or PIAM. But forget the jargon. Just think of it as a master control panel. It connects all those different separate security systems, it automates tasks, and it gives managers one single, unified view of their entire operation.
And the difference is just night and day. On the left, you have the old way, all these separate systems, endless manual checks, and just reacting to problems. On the right, the new way, a single integrated platform, automated processes, proactive alerts, and coordinated action. It is a fundamental game changer.
So after all this deep dive into the security world, why does the challenge of a security manager actually matter to the rest of us?
It matters because the next time you walk into a building and feel that sense of safety, you can remember that that feeling isn't an accident. It's the direct result of a successful juggling act, one that's only made possible by integrated, intelligent security platforms working silently behind the scenes to keep all those balls perfectly in the air.
It really makes you think, though. What's next? As our physical lives and our digital identities become more and more tangled together, what does the future of security even look like? That's the big question we're all facing.